Hey, what's going on, guys? I want to thank you for joining me in another episode of Talking with Jess. And today is not much of a somber mode, but we're just going to call a spade and speak with the facts. On Friday, the sentencing of Derek Chauvin came down as where he was sentenced to 22 years and 6 months in prison for the murder of George Floyd. Now, at 22, a lot of people expected life, but if you know the law, if you know the legal system, you know the terminology, you knew he wasn't going to get life. You just knew that's the way it was going to go. Semantics are a son of a gun, and wordplay is a son of a gun inside the courtroom. Uh, I'm more so concerned that it took an entire year, over a year, to sentence him. I mean, the entire world saw what happened, like almost live, like as it happened. It wasn't like it was 30 years ago, where it took some time for the Rodney King incident to spread across the United States and spread across the world. I mean, we all saw this as it happened, and there was no denying as to what happened. There was no ambiguity to that at all. He had his knee on the man's neck for over 9 minutes. Now, and just like that, when I said the Derek Chauvin case, we put more focus on the perpetrator than they did the victim. And then when you speak about the victim, the first thing they want to say, well, he was breaking the law, he resisted, he had a fake $20 bill, and he had a drug addiction, he was a porn star. All those things that they speak about that actually doesn't matter due to the fact that this man's life was snuffed away from him for no reason when he wasn't an imminent threat to anybody around him at that moment. And I remember a couple of months ago when Derek Chauvin was found guilty, everyone celebrated, and I said, well, wait a minute, just hold on, let's back off for a second, because anybody can be sentenced. The sentencing, anybody can be charged. The charge doesn't mean anything. It's the sentencing as to where we are, what we're looking for. And this shouldn't be something celebratory because he got 22 years or he got 20 years. He still took a life. We're still going through this as to where we're waiting for the justice system to be fair and just for everybody. I mean, to me, justice is blind. If you ever go inside of a courtroom, you see a picture of the Statue of Liberty or Lady Liberty or whoever she is with a blindfold around her eyes, and that's probably because in her eyeball sockets are dollar signs. That's just my opinion. But this is sad. It's a sad case that we actually had to go through this. 22 years and 6 months is quite a long time, and I have to watch what I say on YouTube. But if he makes it out, I can just leave it at that. But we still got somebody that they no longer have a father, they don't have a brother, they don't have an uncle, they don't have a son, they don't have a relative. George Floyd is still gone, and I'm not going to condone anything he did in his past about criminal activity, anything like that. But that man was no threat at that moment. And let's say if he did have a criminal past, we've seen loads and loads of people throughout history with a horrible criminal past that were taken in peacefully. Manson was taken in peacefully. The Unabomber was taken in peacefully. The guy they thought that shot Kennedy was taken in peacefully. If I'm not mistaken, Reagan was shot on live TV, and they caught that guy and they took him in peacefully, and he's out to this day. He's out today. The guy that did the Oklahoma City bombing, he was taken in peacefully. Ted Bundy was taken in peacefully. I mean, the list goes on and on. So what we saw over a year ago in the Minnesota area was an outright murder, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but we all saw the same thing. And then flash forward a year later, we get a pacification of Juneteenth and a sentencing of 22 and a half years. It's not gonna fix everything, but I see that we're kind of making a step in the right direction. And so we have to keep pushing forward. We have to keep making our voices be heard. We have to keep saying, okay, well, we did this, but this is not enough. Whenever we see an injustice, we need to put it to a stop, as to regardless of who it is. And I'll also give another opinion that may be unpopular. It's not the police job to prevent crime. The police job is exactly that, law enforcement. It is your job to prevent crime in your community. So if you see something that's not right in your community, say something. It doesn't make you a snitch, and I hate that stop snitching stuff. If something's going on that's going to affect you in your area where you live, where your kids live, you have every right to speak out and say something about it. You just got to be smart. You got to get out this mentality of snitching, because me, that's just stupid. Now, if I'm involved in something with you, I'm doing something dirty and shiesty with you, and I get caught, then I drop a dime on you. Yeah, that's snitching. But if it has nothing to do with me, if I didn't get involved in it and I see this about to affect me negatively, I have every right to say something. So that's just my take on it. But tell me what you guys think. Leave your comments in the comment section. This video was very brief. Hope to see you soon. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk again. Excellence over excuses.